Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. This Sunday, December 18th, will bring down the curtain on the 2022 FIFA World Cup in the Gulf state of Qatar, which has in the past 1 month held humanity spellbound. After 61 games already played, the showcase event will be this evening's final match between the defending champions, France and Argentina. Several subplots have worked around that game, including the fact that Argentina's inspirational captain, Lionel Messi, could be on the verge of winning the only major title that has eluded him during a trophy-laden career, both for club and country. Well, Arise Sports correspondent Aaron Akarijola is now standing by to give us an update of what to expect as the World Cup winds down. Hi, Aaron.
Yes, good morning to you, Abby. Good morning to you, Steve. Good morning to you, OG. And I have a special guest beside me. It needs no introduction. Talking about one of the greatest players to actually come out of Africa to play globally. Of course, right now he's actually coaching. And for this particular Mundial, he's here as an ambassador, talking about no other than Yaya Toure. Yaya, I want to say thank you very much for joining us on Arise News.
Thank you very much, Big Brother. Thank you.
Okay, so you've been here, you've witnessed the Mundial. Let's just keep it short and simple. How would you rate the 2022 FIFA World Cup?
Well, I think tremendous. The World Cup it's been great, to be honest. The venue, the reception, the hospitality, the people, and as well when we get down to the football, the stadium maybe by sides. And I think the movement from people around the stadium or around any hotel of the players been stopped. I think he's been special at the time, like we never see his tournament as this magnitude. The World Cup was in one place, and where all the stadium is around 20 minutes, 15 minutes, if in the last one, the far one. And as well the hotel for the recovery for the players as well, to get again in a bike to the next game. It's been awesome, because for my last experience in 2018 in Russia, where I've been there in Ponding, it was a lot of fly, it was a lot of situation, uncomfortable situation, sorry. Well, I think for me, this one has been a success story today. This World Cup has been great.
Right, great. Let's keep it short now. Yeah. African teams, because at least I cannot ask you any other question, but African teams. How would you rate the level of performance from African teams? Morocco came in fourth yesterday. Yeah. Just talk to me about Africa. I know Africa's come this time around alongside Nigeria. So, talk to me about African team.
No, I think he's a huge boost, and a huge relief. And I think the people in the Africa, my continent have to understand that when you just remind, because I've been in Morocco a few times, I've been in Algeria a few times, I've been in Ghana, I've been in Ivory Coast, even in Senegal. I think people have to get down to understand that it's not only the players who have to have it, we have to have the infrastructure as well. If you went today in Morocco, you see the infrastructure to get it. The government have been spending millions after millions for years and years, and that's the result. What happened to Morocco? Because we have the talents. Okay, we maybe have 1 or 2, 3 players being superstar like Mane, or maybe example Salah, maybe for example others, Aubameyang, all the other players, but surround him, the players, even they go high level or they're now being in the top clubs, if they train in academy or they train in the clubs, in local clubs, and they have all the infrastructure development, the players, high professional one, they can succeed, you know what I mean? Because most of the time, people think because Argentina or France, all the players play in the top clubs, they win the cup. No, it's because sometimes when you see those countries, the infrastructure has stopped. Look now, Germany. Germany have been kicked out recently. Now it's been 2 times. Now we're gonna look again the infrastructure, adapt it, and maybe put in even higher professional way. Because if you don't do right, you're gonna be kicked out, and you're gonna be in the back of the rest. And you have to keep fighting. And I think Morocco have been brilliant all this tournament. No one expect them to be there, to be honest. Even me myself, I was thinking more about Senegal, about other country, but they make us proud, and I think he is good for the future.
All right, simple question. Messi or Mbappe? Just one answer.
I think both. I have the feeling because Mbappe has been brilliant. Messi's teamwork, team friend from Barcelona.
Just one answer: Messi or Mbappe?
I don't know because my mind now is divided. But Mbappe should be going through because with the psychological advantage France have it to be winning 2018. Maybe can be the difference. Yes, maybe not. But I think France have that. They have 60 or 70% of the players been winning 2018. They are still in 22 again. Then that means psychologically, my Argentina maybe struggle. But I don't know. I don't want to see this end on the penalties. We want to see that end up like yesterday and they winning straight and we're going. But let's see.
Let's see. We wish you all the best and thank you very much for coming in.
No, you too, brother.
It's been good. It's good. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
All right. So you've heard from the man himself, Yaya Toure. He's probably leaning towards Kylian Mbappe and the gang, the Le Bleu of France, to probably pick this one today at the Lusail Stadium, 6 p.m. Doha time, 4 p.m. Nigerian time. A lot is expected from these teams, and I must actually tell you that at the moment, all the subplots, all the permutations, all the politics leading up to this particular tournament, within this tournament, doesn't really matter because 90 minutes is set to maybe 120 minutes as we're preparing for the curtain closer at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar.
All right, Aaron, that's a good one with Yaya Toure. But tell us, what are the bookmakers saying about, this evening's final match between Messi and Mbappe, between France and Argentina? And what do you think will come into play as for the support of Africans? Yes, there's a huge support base for Messi, but then there's also the question of who should Africans support. The French team looks more African than French, and then the unproven, or shall we say, the controversial history of Argentina as to how they've treated blacks, during slavery, etc. Do you think all those sentiments will come into play as to who many people will support this evening? Aaron?
Now, I must actually say that I've been in Doha for close to about 4 weeks right now, and everybody has been doing Halle, Halle, Messi, Halle, Halle, Messi. A lot of people will set aside all the history between the blacks and the Argentines because of that diminutive man. Back in Spain, he's been called the La Puga Atomica. That means the dynamite little one. He has done so much for football. He has given so much joy to football. He has a cult following in football. I know people that have driven to Doha with their cars, painted Lionel Messi and Argentina because they want to see that man play in his last World Cup. We know this is the final dance. It is win or bust, now or never. So certainly we'll be seeing a sea of white and blue today. Although the Le Bleu of France wear a deeper shade of blue, but white and probably light blue today because I must tell you, Lionel Messi has all the fans. But the bookmakers are maybe also tipping Lionel Messi because they are claiming it's written in the stars with Diego Armando Maradona somewhere in football heaven, just guiding them through. They feel this is their time. Destiny is calling and they'll make it happen. But they are going against a Le Bleu side that have the experience and know how to get the job done. You might have the fans supporting you. You might have the bookmakers in your favor. But if you don't have a winning mentality, it will be difficult at this grand stage to see yourself off the finish line because fine margins define football. Fine margins at this stage will be punished, literally. And that winning mentality plays a whole lot. Scaloni and the gang, we know they've won the Copa America. Would they be able to raise themselves to the occasion? Because we saw the Le Bleu of France against Morocco. They were not phenomenal, but they know how to get the job done. And on the day, they delivered the sucker punch, bam, bam, 2-0 was all it mattered because this possession was not even in their favor. But they didn't care because all that matters in football is getting the win. And if you can get the win, all is forgiven, all is forgotten. So delicately balanced, delicately poised today at the Lusail Stadium.
Well, Aaron, I guess the big question is if Messi emulates Maradona and leads Argentina to a World Cup, will that end the debate of who the greatest footballer of all time is, or will that argument linger?
Some say to end it. If you would ask me, I think it will linger because Diego Armando Maradona, yes, has won the World Cup. But what would you say about Pelé that has won multiple World Cups?
Absolutely.
Would you say a Lionel Messi, Pelé claims to have over 1,000 goals? Would you say that Pelé is more inferior to, or is less inferior to Lionel Messi because he's won the World Cup? Let's see how it goes. I don't think it will ever settle that debate. But one thing is certain, if he wins the World Cup, he will be the greatest player of his generation. Which says a lot, understanding that has been oscillating between himself and Cristiano Ronaldo. So that might settle that one for this generation, but for all time, it will still be a subjective decision.
Right, absolutely. Very well put. But Aaron, for those who are not in the know, talk us through the atmosphere leading to the big day in terms of what expectations for the winning team would be. I mean, we know that FIFA had allocated $42 million to the winning team. Correct me if I'm wrong. But what other expectations are there in terms of the prize? What's the big take home, even for participating countries?
Now, let me put it in context. I know, Steve, this actually would interest you more, and we've spoken about this in time past. OG also, this might also interest you. Of course, our own star boy, our own, of course, it's not called star boy, it's called OBO, but our own superstar, talking about Omo Babalowo Davido, is in Doha, and he will be gracing the closing finale. So that's very, very huge for Africans who were hoping to see him, but he was actually struck with tragedy, so everyone understood why he couldn't make it for the opening ceremony, and that is why a lot of people are hyped up about the closing ceremony. And it's been party all through. Sean Paul was here in Doha yesterday. We've had Patty Rankin, we've had Bono, we've had Kiss Daniel, to mention but a few. So it's been quite a tournament, and we know that this, according to the FIFA president in this press conference yesterday, this has been the most profitable World Cup in their history, and they are smiling home to the bank. For those teams, each team is guaranteed of at least $12 million. Then, depending on where you finished, if it's the round of 16, the round of 8, the round of 4, that is the semifinals, or getting to the finals, that will be, more monies will be added to that. So you look at that and you say that profitably and on paper, Qatar has really broken the bank. As a matter of fact, they've literally shattered the bank to ensure they have people smile, both players, officials, and workers. Although some would say that Lusail, according to the reports in the UK, they are claiming that Lusail is a burial ground where people were buried for football to be held.
All right, Aaron, what lessons in specific terms do you think that African countries in general and Nigeria in particular should learn from this Qatar World Cup? We know that some of the officials or former officials of the NFF, were in Doha. Some of the reports, unconfirmed reports, is that they were probably more interested in parties, than in serious business, since Nigeria was not in contention. Parties in Doha, in Dubai, with some big boys from Nigeria, with some young traditional rulers who are also there. Did you see anything that showed that Nigeria will have learnt anything, and what should be our takeaway, picking a thing or two from how Morocco has performed, and then preparing for the next AFCON and the next World Cup in the US, Mexico, and Canada?
Now, Steve, let me say this. First of all, I was with the governor of Bayelsa State, Governor Diodiri, and he was speaking yesterday, and he was lamenting to me, and in his own words, in pidgin language, he said, "Who do us like this?" Because he has seen, or he witnessed the beauty, the edifices that have been built here. He has witnessed what monies can do in a short space of time. Qatar has just been in existence for 25 years. And look at what has happened to this mini Gulf nation and what they've been able to transform, what they've been able to use football, because they call it the ultimate football laundering, or image laundering, and sports laundry, or sports washing, as some will call it. But for Qataris, they say they see this World Cup as a driver for infrastructure, for general well-being. Whichever way you want to look at it, they've spent quite a lot to put so much in place. And we ask ourselves the question, just imagine what would happen to us if we had invested those barrels of oils being drilled in from Oloibiri to different places in Bayelsa Delta states or wherever oil has been found in Nigeria. Now, coming down to what we've actually learned, one thing rings true and no one can deny it. Yaya Toure also mentioned it, that this is a wake-up call to African teams and African nations. You cannot circumvent building infrastructure if you want to see football rise. The great nations, European nations that have succeeded, South American nations that have succeeded at the World Cup, are all teams, are all nations that built infrastructure. Nothing more, nothing less.
All right, Aaron, we've run out of time, but I just wondered, predictions. Who do you think will go on to win the World Cup? France, Argentina, briefly.
Personally, I'll say France.
France?
Personally, I'll just say
right.
France.
Hallelujah.
I wish I could place a bet, but I don't gamble. I'll see you after 4 o'clock today. Well, all right. Thank you, Aaron, and enjoy.